Is Karate Kid correct about martial arts and aggression? When The Karate Kid came out in 1984, I was a teen in my own karate training. I got hooked on the premise of that and the following movies, and I have to admit that I'm a fan of the TV series Cobra Kai. A lot of what happens in the movies and series resonates with me since my initial years were heavily based on sports karate and tournament competition. The 80s were also a big part of my learning to enjoy hair metal and heavy metal music, which forms a large part of the soundtrack to the current Netflix show. One of the things that I don't appreciate about some aspects of the movies, but mainly the Cobra series, is the way it depicts unbridled aggression in the young kids who are taking martial arts. Although originally this was shown mostly in Cobra Kai, it bleeds into Miyagi-Do and everything else you see, especially when you arrive at the final season of the current Netflix show and the admittedly entertaining but egregious violence and mayhem. This goes against my experience training in martial arts at a young age, teaching martial arts to kids and teens, and many anecdotal stories from others. Yet there has been relatively less empirical evidence about the effect of martial arts on aggression, particularly in adolescence. This is why a recent study from China caught my interest. Researcher Ting Xu, Hansen Li, Gerao, and Feng Wang from Xinjiang, Chongqing, and Sichuan in China, and from Bangkok, Thailand, have an interest in factors related to violence and school bullying. They set out to study what effect martial arts training might have on aggression in adolescence, and recently published their work in the journal BMC Psychology. They were especially interested in understanding the roles of self-control and depression in mediating the relationship between martial arts participation and aggression. They surveyed a very large group of almost 850 participants, average age 13 years, grades 7 to 9, who trained in martial arts with an almost even split of those identifying as male or female. Also, approximately half the participants did traditional Chinese martial arts, and the others did other systems like Taekwondo and kickboxing. Folks in the study completed the physical activity rating scale, self-control scale, depression scale, and aggression scale. The results showed that martial arts exercise level negatively predicted aggression, meaning the more they did, the less aggressive they were. Also, there wasn't any difference in the effects you might get from Chinese compared with other martial arts. Interestingly, the pathways by which the moderation of aggression unfolded were heavily linked with effects on self-control.